Envision last year's stadium where we had 60 tons of trash dumped into the landfill. So this year, if we're successful, we should have zero waste going to the landfills.
Zero waste in the football stadium is actually very easy. You just have to change everything.
I heard something on the news about it the other day where these products are all biodegradable.
I'm assuming that it means that everything that's going to be disposable will actually be recycled in some way, shape, or form. But no, I had no idea.
We took all the trash cans out of the stadium for the game, and we put it in yellow bins for recycling and compostable bins for compost.
Everything that is served is either in a recyclable item or it is in a compostable item.
The point is to literally know what's being served in every nook and cranny of the stadium, who's serving it, what they're putting it in, and then trying to revise that so it does fit into our program.
For people coming to the game, the changes are not really very difficult.
It's not really impacting it much at all because it still comes in containers, and the containers then get recycled, right? They're made out of corn and they're made out of sugar or something like that. I guess you could eat it if you wanted to.
Well, I don't know what they're called, but the trash cans. The trash cans. There's like different ones.
They'll also see a video in the stadium that talks a little bit about it.
The goal is to produce zero waste during all of our home football games across the field. So pitch in and help us eliminate waste. After all, protecting our environment is a CU tradition.
The main education will happen as they're using those items, as they're standing at a zero waste station, talking to a volunteer student, reading, signs and such. If anything, they'll be asking themselves, is this compostable or is this recyclable? And we're trying to make that as easy as possible for them by having color posters, what we call grade sheets, that literally have color pictures of the actual products used at the game.
So you're supposed to put certain things in certain bins, is that's sort of the deal?
You could literally stand at a station with the item in your hand, look at the poster, and know exactly where it goes.
I did not notice. I think it'll take some time. I bet you that people will just throw stuff wherever they see a container.
It's like more clearly than it was last year. Last year, nothing was labeled. It was kind of like, oh, a yellow one, that looks pretty garbage.
I think it's a small learning curve, and I think once you learn it, this could be compostable. Would be like whatever's left over from the food plus the containers. Although these containers I don't think are compostable. Well, they must be.
It's a very tough thing to try to get this huge number of people to actually think about where their compost goes and where their recycling goes, because most people haven't really experienced zero waste before.
We will have students manning those stations, helping them dispose of their products in the right containers so that we can compost them or recycle them, thus zero waste.
So they can't throw something away, but they could contaminate one of the two bins with the wrong material.
It's sort of hard because it's the first game and people don't really know. They sort of think the compost is the trash, and mostly it is. But the only difference, I would say, is you can't throw away plastics in the compost, and they have to go into the commingled containers where it doesn't seem like there's trash.
We basically are set up in a unique position where CU has an on-campus recycling facility. And in the past, when we had a football game, we would collect cans and bottles, and all that material would come back here to the recycling facility, and we sort through that to pull out contaminants, to pull out trash, anything that was not recyclable. Recognizing that people will bring certain items in that we can't control.
I think they ought to keep something available for extra stuff that people do have there, as far as garbage goes. Do any of these say garbage? No.
We do have a trash can that's, a plastic bag to keep down there. Just sort of, it is, if there is trash, we put it in there, but we try to keep it out of the way. We're mostly trying to get zero waste.
So it really is an effort to move towards zero waste. We're not claiming that we'll have 100% this year, but we're really confident we'll get close to 90% diverted waste of those roughly 10 tons of trash that we generate at every home game.